Hey, Chris, this is Scott Lawrence. I thought I'd put together a video so that you can kind of get a sense for how we use HubSpot. Up here at the left-hand side, left corner, you can see sales and marketing. You're probably going to stay in sales, I would imagine, but just so that you have a sense for what we do with HubSpot. I'll show you the marketing side. So the first thing you see is the marketing dashboard. And this is where I spend a lot of time, just trying to understand what's working, what we're doing. We send out emails. When somebody comes and downloads something from our website, we take their email address and then we put them on a nurture campaign. And so we'll send them something that we think they'll find interesting. Normally it's the people that we're targeting are hospitals and the marketers inside of hospitals. So marketing departments inside of hospitals are spending a lot of money right now on silly types of advertising like billboards, things that really have no measurable response or return on investment. And so we build these nurture campaigns, and this is one that goes out. They download something, 6 days later I have them receiving this automatically. And it's a email that includes a survey. So we surveyed patients and doctors and medical marketers and asked them, hey, what do you think is most important? You can't really read it here, but it says this is billboards, and this is social media, and this is print, and this is other types of advertising. The doctors said, this one is most important. It's 24 to 4, so 6 times as much. This is billboards here, and this right here is a social media presence. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I had to take a brief time out because Tom came into my office and we had to talk about stuff. All right, let me get back to HubSpot. You get the point. We've got emails here. If we go, we can click back and kind of look at the dashboard. We've got email performance, how many we sent, how many were opened, how many were clicked, et cetera, et cetera. And the idea is that we want to keep them coming back to our website. Every time that they go to our website, which of course I think you've seen by now, every time they go to our website, if they download something, if they spend time on each page, we're able to measure that and we're able to give them points. If they go to 5 different pages of the website, then I give them 10 points. And if they download something, I give them 50 points. And as soon as they get to 100 points, they become a marketing qualified lead. And those marketing qualified leads are what I'm trying to build out. So we've got 139 leads. We've got 6 marketing qualified leads. And as soon as they become MQLs, or marketing qualified leads, I send them over to Tom, and he follows up with them. And that's the way inbound marketing works, essentially. All right. So with that said, I'll take you over to the sales. And there's a lot to the marketing here. I'm not going to go through all of that. Feel free to look at it. But the sales side of HubSpot is probably where you will spend the majority of your time. You can see here we have a deal forecast, and that is built out of how many people we have talked to or we expect could potentially become customers. So you find that by going to contacts. Now I'm going to look up somebody that I know we just recently talked to. Leanne Zagami. We have somebody on staff here whose job it is to set appointments. And you can see that what she did is we've got all of this history. She called Leanne and she scheduled with Mary Beth, assistant to the CEO, to talk to Carol Volter and so forth. They went back and forth. You can see the notes here. We rescheduled. But as soon as she, let me just take it to the top here. She does this by calling. She can go here and make the call. This is my phone number. This is the phone number of Leanne. And so she can just hit the call button and she can call from her phone. And when she calls from her phone, it connects this number to this number, and so we can actually record the call. And she could take notes. This is a good call. But I'm not going to put that in there. And then after, she can send an email. She can say, "Hi, Leanne, it was great speaking to you, blah, blah, blah." I've actually built out templates as well. So, for instance, if Tom wants to follow up with someone, he can go to the templates, and the next date is confirmed. He can select that one. It's already built for him. He can put it in there as it automatically fills in where she's from, automatically puts her name in there, automatically puts in a date. So we're not going to keep this, but I just want to let you know, because that might be something that Tom might ask you to do. He might ask you to go into the contacts and enter something for someone. So he might say, "All right, Matt Tavener, I'd like to have a note put in there, something in the log activity." He might ask you to create a task or schedule something. So if that is something that you're asked to do, it'd be really good if you could really sort of get to know what contacts are all about and how to get around it and what it means. Like I said, HubSpot Academy is a great place to find out how to do these things. HubSpot Academy and this help button down here. I mentioned this in an email previously, but if you go to the help button and then you say contact support, they have an 800 number for those of us in the US, and then they have international numbers, and it'll automatically take you to where you're supposed to be. I don't know if your country's in here. Indonesia, maybe that's, at any rate, you would select that and then call, and they will help you, and it's free because you're one of the people on the HubSpot account. They will ask you for your HubSpot ID when you go there. HubSpot ID is, let me show you where that is. Get out of the help. HubSpot ID is always in the top right. Help is always in the bottom right. 187-8057. They'll ask you for that, and then they'll help you. Just tell them what your name is. So that's that. One more thing that you might be interested in, and again, if you're on the sales side, not the marketing side, the sales side, whatever you get to know about this would be helpful. Again, I meant to tell you about the deals. I'm trying to wrap up, but I meant to tell you about the deals. So if we go to Leanne, you can see that she had all of this happening. As soon as she nailed down an appointment for Tom, so someone named Ruthie Sanford is who we pay to make these connections and to call up and try to set appointments. But as soon as she does, then she goes here and she creates a deal. And so that deal is going to, it automatically fills in here. And so it puts she would put in Tom's name here. And the close date is probably going to, we normally say, all right, well, 30 days out or 60 days out at least. So we probably put that. And then she would make the deal. And when you have a deal, that's when you see it on the dashboard. And again, the dashboard is just a quick look at all of the accounts. So if an appointment is scheduled, we say, well, there's a 10% chance that we can close that business. And so if we click on here, you can see all the ones that we have that are new appointments set. So we've got one, so she automatically set the close date to 6:30 because she probably scheduled it this week. But you can click into it and see more about this account, what happened. We normally set a default of $120,000 because that's $10,000 a month. That's pretty much the general area where we target for any new customer. If it's $10,000 a month, then it's $120,000 per year. But again, you can play around with this. You can look at the sales dashboard. These are all the deals that we have. If we're at the point of pitching them and making a proposal, we believe that we're 60% of the way to having an actual deal. And so when you're 60%, 10%, this means that you've got 10% of $1.8 million in appointments scheduled. So it's 180,000. They're giving us credit for 180,000 because we're 10% of $1.8 million. Anyway, I think that's probably enough for now. You know how to get in touch with me if you have any questions or issues or anything at all. Anyway, again, I'm really happy that you're able to join us, and I'm looking forward to working with you. Thanks very much.